Fayette now seems to be one of the, and then back into DeKalb County, just north of Fort Payne at this point, seems to be where the heaviest line of showers and storms are occurring at this time as they continue to move east. Then behind that, as you were saying, Ryan, I think I heard you were talking about how we may very well be seeing really the end of any severe threat after we get through this particular line of storms, which is pretty much the timing that we were looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still expected to be, honestly, it's exactly where it was expected to be by 8 o'clock, the little Fayette, Dalton area past Chattanooga. 9 o'clock is when we expect it to be, for the most part, out of it, maybe 9:30. And then we've got all that rain behind it. So that's the thing, is after the initial line is gone, that's the severe line, behind it is all that heavy rain and still a little bit of thunder and lightning. So it's going to be well into those work hours. Besides the severe line, or at least this potential for severe line, we've got flooding as a possibility, especially in some low-lying areas and even just in general. I mean, it's a very big possibility. So we're going to stay alert at least until, I would say, midday, once the rain really moves off.
Maybe we could take a look outside from, if we, and I'm assuming we still have our shot. I'm not sure if we do or not. From outside, here it is from CHI Memorial. And
wow, look at that.
Very foggy,
gloomy,
very rainy, and very slow traffic, I might add. And that is, you can kind of also see, as it brightens up a little bit here, that the roads obviously are very, very wet right now. And as you were saying, Ryan, this is going to last a while, even just the rain. So flash flooding, not out of the question. But it seems to me that right now what we're mostly concerned is with that tornado warning, obviously, but also the amounts of rain that we're seeing here coming along at this point, and what they've been raining here for the last hour or so from west to east. Certainly
so, yes. And here's back again at that tornado warning. The severe thunderstorm warning is now also included in Fort Payne. So that's once again going to be until 7:30. So that's 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. So you got about a half hour for that. It has just 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. There's no reports of any hail with this, but I would not be surprised if we see any. They've been popping up here and there, those small little hail cores. So there was some in Mont Eagle earlier, I believe, and even some, I think, in East Brainerd, some people were telling me about earlier on. So that tornado warning still going on until 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern. We got another 13 minutes until that goes on. It doesn't look very bad storm relative velocities. This is what we look for to see directions and rotation, and it's very broad here. But there is that possibility still. I think it might be a bit too close to the radar site still in a way. But either way, no, we're keeping an eye on it. We're making sure that everybody is safe. Treat it as if it was a tornado. If you are in Fort Payne, Fife, Collinsville, along 59 and 11 and 75, go inside. Stay sheltered, interior room or closet with your head covered.
Okay, so they've just updated that polygon. They've taken part of the, it looks like they took part of the area out.
Yep.
And moved it a little bit eastward. And so that is, you know, because it's moving pretty rapidly, areas to the west will be eroded here as far as the warning is concerned, the tornado warning. Is the severe thunderstorm warning just lined up exactly with the tornado warning? Or not?
It is, actually. So you can see the edge here.
Yeah,
that's
I see that.
That pink is the severe storm, and the red, the deep red, is the.
I don't know if I've ever seen that in my life. That they did that.
How about that? I'm glad I could be here for that moment with you, Bill.
Yeah, that's a little a little bit unusual. I guess they, again, you know, the storm is producing severe thunderstorm conditions. And within the severe thunderstorms is the possibility of a tornado. And so that's why we have that. And I guess that's why we have that unusualness as far as having both warnings up at the same time.
Certainly so. I mean, you can get tornado warnings without a severe thunderstorm warning, and you can also get severe thunderstorm warnings without tornado warnings. I mean, the rectangles and squares, I suppose. But it fits so perfectly in there that it's kind of, maybe it's just because it's at the edge of Huntington or Huntsville's weather office. It could be.
Could be
one
I
of those reasons.
suppose.
But other way,
I'm with you on that. I was just looking to make sure that it hadn't, but obviously it hasn't. I thought maybe they had issued the severe thunderstorm warning and replaced the tornado warning, but the tornado warning is still going on. So that is still something that we have to track here for the next few minutes at least, as we kind of wait and see how this whole area goes. And again, it's possible that this area could be diminished just to the severe thunderstorm warning if they find that the storm that I'm thinking is just about entering that polygon now, just to the west of Fort Payne, that if it starts to show signs that it doesn't have the capability necessarily of producing a tornado, that they may drop the tornado warning and just keep the severe thunderstorm warning. But that has not been done yet, and I don't want anybody to get the idea that it has.
I think we've got a camera. What was that, Savannah, our producer? Which one is this one? This is I-75 at Ringgold Road. Mm-hmm. So let's go over. I'm going to move my radar over to Ringgold.
So I-75 Ringgold Road, we, again, the main concern, and of course, this is a place that traffic can get pretty bottled up pretty fast. Right now, they're moving along really well. And it is a moderate to heavy rain. And obviously streets are wet and they're going to be here for the commute, the rest of the commute here this morning. And so, if you can hold off going to wherever you need to go to right now, that would probably be the smarter place to be, is just right at home here for a little bit until this rain maybe lets up a little bit, if you have that desire.
And here's just Ringgold. Speaking of Ringgold, they're in the thick of it right now with that heavy rain and thunder and lightning. And we're still getting some thunder and lightning even in the Chattanooga area. I mean, you're going to be hearing it for a while. You're going to be getting that rain for a while, at least until midday, when the rain should start to ebb away, at least to our south.
So a little bit north there where 75 meets up with the Georgia line, and a little bit, and that's that intersection right there, or I guess that interchange to right there, that's Ringgold Road and I-75 basically.
And it does look like it's winding down there, at least on radar.
Right. That's what I was thinking, that the colors were a little bit more into the moderate to even some lighter rain as we go to the north there. But again, you're going to get these patchy areas of variance as far as intensities are concerned in these situations. So again, it's one of those days that if you can hold off getting out on the roads, it's probably best, as the roads are going to be hazardous with the very wet rain, the very wet roads, and also the visibilities do come down when you have these heavy downpours, obviously.
Yeah, so let's go back to that tornado warning again. As we zoom on down here. So we're getting closer and closer to that end point. We got about 7-ish minutes. Well, now 6-ish minutes left. Let's take a look once again at velocity. Not really seeing, it's still a very broad area of rotation here. So I think we're A-okay, but that's, look at that. We got another severe thunderstorm warning. This is just for the outskirts of our viewing area. So it's possible that the tornado warning could end up getting included in that. But it's interesting because this part is not in our viewing area, but then Rome is. So we'll have to continue to keep an eye on that and see if our friends down there in Rome get Northwest Georgia.
They're all on the borderline of what we consider the viewing area, but we normally will carry the information about areas in Floyd County and also over towards DeKalb County.
So this is for Calhoun County, Cherokee County, and Etowah County.
So Calhoun, again, is one of the southernmost counties there.
Yeah, and that's going to be until 8:15 Central Time. So it's actually not going to be for very long, to be honest.
If you go a little farther north of Somerville, for instance.
I'm trying to, there it is.
There you go. So I'm wondering if the Calhoun County and, or Calhoun, Tennessee, and but not Calhoun
It's-
County. The Calhoun
yeah.
County is different than
Yeah, that's in
Calhoun, Tennessee.
Alabama.
So yeah, I was going to say that was confusing me for a moment.
Yeah,
I saw
should have
Calhoun
specified.
just kind of
I should have
blew my
specified.
mind there for a second. But we are continuing to see over in Alabama. That's where the tornado warning still is. And again, we just have a few more minutes. They really did keep this as a very short in term warning as far as that severe thunderstorm, but yeah, our tornado warning. But you also have to realize that by the time that expires, the storm may very well be into the Georgia counties, which would take the responsibility to Atlanta.
Right. And they've got all different kinds of, criteria to issue situations, of course, when it comes to that, because they see things differently because they've got different radar sites, of course.
Of course. Yes, that's right. And it is just a human being after all. And so they all have their ways of doing things and things that they look for. So we'll see what happens here in a few minutes and see if this warning gets extended eastward or whether or not they'll let it expire. That'll be the next big thing that we'll be watching for on this tornado warning, because we want to stay with you. Right around Fort Payne right now is an area that you certainly would want to, and a little south of there, would want to be going to your safe place, I would say, because we do have the tornado warning. Obviously, there's a considerable lightning, and so that storm still remains a dangerous one.
Certainly so. If you want to take a quick look at our Dalton storm cam, because we've got the storms coming up there, just so we can kind of see, take a break from the constant radar side. We're still looking at that. Doesn't look too bad yet, but it will be, because the storms have not quite reached Dalton yet. But this is a calm before the storm. You've got that coming in probably about around the next 10 to 15 minutes. Lots of lightning, lots of heavy rain, but it's likely undefined. I think that most of our Georgia counties are going to be safe from most of the severe weather. It's more south, it's more northwest Georgia, like bordering. My goodness, this lightning is shaking our britches.
That's what happens when you say that we might not have any severe weather.
I guess
I wouldn't put anything past it.
But no, I mean, we're still safe from any warning as of yet in Chattanooga. But these lightning strikes, they are getting too close for comfort, I would certainly say. But I will keep my big mouth shut.
No, you're doing
when it comes
good
to
with
that.
your big mouth. You're all right. But I think I did see some lightning actually flash through there on the Landmark building cam.
Yeah.
And so, we still continue to find ourselves with, the lightning's really bunched up down there towards Fort Payne and even a little north of where the warning is. But we do have that's the severe thunderstorm warning that we have, right? To the north of Fort Payne. I think I see that.
Yeah, that's the
there.
one in Hennegar. It's included in that as well. It's kind of all the same thing. It's just one long warning.
It is one long line there. And
you can see that
in just
outline.
a couple minutes, decisions will have to be made. Since nothing has been issued yet in Georgia, I kind of wonder if they're expecting to just let that expire, but they'll let us know here in just a couple of minutes here. They'll have to be, because the warning is issued until 15 minutes after the hour, and our clock has 13 minutes after the hour right now.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see what happens with that. But because the storm itself doesn't look like it has really weakened from where it was.
No, in fact, it looks like we've got like a bit of a bow going on here. You can kind of see the way the winds are pushing it out, and it's kind of curved up like that. So at the very least, it's very strong wind gusts in that area. Whether or not it's a tornado, I mean, there is some rotation here. You could kind of see this is away from the radar, and that's towards. So it's kind of spinning like that right there could be where something is. But we have no confirmation of that. But either way, you're going to want to treat it as if it is. So if you're in I-59, Route 11, if you're near there, Fort Payne area, if we have any towns that pop up here, you're going to want to stay in the Killian Mill, it looks like, Portersville, Sigsbee. Stay inside of your safe space, like Bill was talking about.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be smart at this point. If it doesn't come up too terribly often, and we don't want to keep your expectations high that we're going to not have anything. At this point, I'm sure it's very loud, and I'm sure that there's some very heavy rain going on. And so even with that, you can have some very gusty winds.
Certainly so. Yeah, you're going to at least 60-mile-an-hour winds based on the severe
the
report.
warning criteria of that. So that is really our hot spot right now still. And in just a few moments here, we'll see what happens with this warning. Now, it might pop off the screen, but then it might be reissued after that. So in just about 3 seconds, 2, 1, we should see that go off.
And it's gone.
And then we have the severe thunderstorm warning left. Now, that doesn't mean that they might not reissue something here in a moment. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that before we would go back to regular programming. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, we'll give it
Let's just watch it for a few minutes.
Let's loop it just so we can see something, moving.
Right. Well, I think that just eyeballing that, it looks like maybe there's a little bit less lightning.
Yeah, it does kind of look generally, but that bow is still kind of there, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be another tornado warning. And if it does, it'll kind of go into Cherokee County, and then that's likely going to head to Floyd County, which would be Rome area, if it does in fact have that. But we're still seeing lots of storms, Lafayette, Dalton, Ocoee, you're getting to that in Polk County now, really making the river rush around, I'm sure.
I was going to read the warning, the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued earlier, and the one that we still see on the screen there. Severe thunderstorm at that time, this was at the top of the hour, was located along a line extending from near Henniger to near Sardis City, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Now, there were reports from the Weather Service here. They say several trees down have been reported. This is in Morgan County, which is a little bit west.
Okay.
But that's associated with the storm. So that was one reason, obviously. When they get reports like that, they're going to likely issue that warning. So you have the severe thunderstorm warning, no tornado warning coming up just yet. And that's good news. I hope that holds.
I hope it holds as well. It's possible that, let's take a look at the, okay, yeah, there's still a bit of there it is. There's still a bit of rotation here that could end up calling some alarm, but it might end up being, I think the Huntsville site might want to wait until it gets to Atlanta site to hand it over to them.
Could be.
So it's possible that this could be a situation. If nothing is issued by 8:20, I think that we could possibly go back to
news. They can let us know in the back there when the best time maybe to go back is.
Okay, yeah, 8:20 they say is good, so let's just go until 8:20.
Okay.
And if another situation gets brought up, then we'll stay alive. If not, we'll come back if it is. But this line did get smaller. You can see it's just hugging this entire thing through Fort Payne. So that's a whole severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The bow isn't as much anymore, so that's nice. It's still kind of there. You can kind of see it kind of dipping like that a bit, but it's not as significant. So that's great. But yeah, you were saying fewer strikes of lightning. I think that looks pretty on point.
Fewer, but still,
it's still loud.
Still loud. They're right.
Loud.
The storms are still loud and sound threatening, and they are. Anytime you have lightning, that's a very dangerous situation in itself. And so we had can we see what's around, like center up to the Chattanooga, perhaps, and then let's see what's so in Chattanooga. It looks like, doesn't it look like to you, Ryan, that the severe risk is really diminished now? Yeah,
the line is far from Chattanooga, Cleveland, and Athens, but as you notice, there's still a lot of heavy rain and a couple strikes still remaining, and they're going to be big ones, they're going to be loud ones. But if you're in Sewanee, you're done basically. And we're getting to that point now. A couple hours will start to be done for a lot of people. Just some drizzle, some light showers, and we're going to be good to go. The rest of the morning and the day.
Okay, well, in about a minute, we're planning on going back to regular programming, which would also include GMA on the ABC and on Fox Chattanooga. We will have our show continuing. So, that you want to go perhaps to, things like our website, our Facebook page, perhaps even our X page, where I know for some of these warnings, they would, on my X page, they would come up automated. They're automated to come down. So that is about what we have for now. Let's go back to regular programming, but we shall return if necessary. And Ryan, we'll come back to you here in just a moment.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We look now at the exclusive traffic tracker this morning as